I'm Dr. Emmett Brown. I'm standing on the parking lot at Twin Pines Mall. It's Saturday morning, October 26, 1985, 1:18 a.m. And this is temporal experiment number 1.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Hey everybody, this is Tambiota, and this is Back to the Future Friday here on the Daily Review. So today, you'll notice background looks a little bit different. So there was a little bit of an accident. I don't know when this happened, but sometime between when I finished filming what I had completed for Predaking, I guess where I placed my foam boards at, I placed them kind of behind my desk, and I guess my son or somebody spilt some drinks, or spilt a drink, and my boards got ruined. So the blue is wet, it has streaks on it, and it looks nasty. So I had to film this, so I didn't have time to go out to Walmart and get a new set. So for this week, we're gonna have wood grain backing instead of black or blue, and then we'll be back to the normal blue whenever I can go out and get some more from Walmart. But that should be done before the next issue airs. So this issue right here of the Build the Back to the Future DeLorean issue. This is issue number 4. Here is the table of contents. Here are all your parts for the build. This is going to be actually building Mr. Fusion and the reactor disc. So it's the reactor chamber. And this is the instructions for the build. It's what does it look like? 3 pages. And then we go into some behind the scenes. The real Dr. Brown. We're talking about the props guy that actually designed what is the final DeLorean time machine. That was Michael Schreif. He was brought in. This is the story about him and him coming in and doing the finishing touches or the finishing designs on what is to become the time machine. It says up here that he did some of the designing and helped create the supercar kit from Back to the Future, from Knight Rider. And then talking about scavenging parts. Basically, they had to go out and they used parts that were readily available at the time. They had to create custom neons for the loops and stuff like that. Just talking about the lights with like the Christmas tree lights, saying that they had to be super bright LEDs because at the time you needed really super bright lights for them to show up on camera, for them to show up on film. Designing of Mr. Fusion here. This is about Doc Brown, about casting Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd. Partially in here, it just talks about his background, that he had some Broadway background, that he had been a Buckaroo Banzai, just other people that were considered for the part. It talks about just them never knowing like how popular the character was actually going to be, and how many times he had to redo the character or be not recasted at him, but the times that they used him. So they used him for all 3 of the films. They used him for an animated series. They used him for the Universal ride, and they also used him in the video game. So he did voices every single time for Doc Brown. This is Einstein, just talking about different incarnations of him. When they brought him back for the second movie, they ended up having to use a different dog because that dog had already been I guess, retired. So they had to bring in another dog. For some of the driving sequences, they ended up using a person in a dog costume to do the driving in the cars. This is the next issue right here. So this is going to be the front left suspension. And these are all the parts that are in the build for today. So go ahead and bring in the parts. So this is everything that we need for the build today. Let me bring this in just a little bit. Okay, so this is Mr. Fusion, and we have the reactor chamber here. And from what I understand, this is a kind of a pain. So we're gonna bring in our screwdriver. I think we have everything that we need in here for all of our screws and stuff. So let's just get the backing off here. Cutting it off, we're just gonna rip it open. Get all these extra pieces off. Oh, okay, I see what's holding it together. There we go. There's kind of an indentation right here that kind of holds this piece together. Okay, so we'll kind of set this off to the side. We're going to start building the reactor. So I really need to get a book holder so that I can put everything up here, and then have all my parts down here. But let's see here. So we're gonna need this piece right here and this piece right here. So basically all we're gonna do is we're gonna drop this piece. There's you'll see that there's a little notch right here, and there's a little notch in there, so it'll just drop down into there like that, and then you just want to turn that. How far do you want to turn it? I feel like there should have been 2 notches in there, because the instructions show almost 2 notches. It's a little bit different. So we'll just leave it like that. Hopefully that'll all stay together like that. Okay, so flip this upside down. We want to take this piece right here. Man, and this is what I assume was the pain. It's these little bitty springs. Okay, so we have a bunch of AP screws. And some CP screws. Okay. Come on. all these screws into part of the tray over here. Okay, so we need to take this, and there's a little post piece right there, and that's going to tab it in just like that. And then we have 2 screws that we need to screw in, right here and right here. So we got our 2 screws. Let's change this orientation a little bit. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. Maybe that'll work. All right, that looks a little bit better. I think you'll probably agree with me. So we have this right here, and now we have this little clear piece right here. And we're going to take this clear piece, and it looks like it's going to attach right here. Is that correct? Okay. And that's going to take some of the CP screws. So we got to get those out. Come on. I like that they use these resealable little bags, but they are a pain to get open. I'd rather just have a bag that I can cut open. Okay, so I'm just going to dump those into there. Okay, so how many do I need? I need 2 of those. Okay. All right, good. I got 2 of those. Oh, these are super, super, super tiny. Pictures are clearly different than what I have here. Do those even screw in? So clearly I just screwed that in and I was able to pull it right back out. So that just pushes in. So I don't really know what to do with that. Okay, well, I'll just put that to the side for right now. I don't know, maybe I'll have to use some AP screws for that also. But clearly the instructions do show I got the right piece. All right, so let's get to Mr. Fusion. So I'm gonna need a couple pieces here for him. I'm gonna need this piece. And I'm going to need this piece. So let's see here. So we're gonna take and join these 2 together. Super, super, super bright, but it also looks like it's super, super dark. Okay, so we'll need these 3 screws. Okay, now after that's in, then we need this piece, and we need the lid for that. So put that on there like that. Attach the transparent lid to the Mr. Fusion chamber component. And this. There we go. All right, so that's where your coffee grinds come out of. This is where your coffee beans go in. So, come on out. Okay. I don't know if it really matters which way this goes in, so I'm just gonna push. Okay. All right, so now that's complete right there. So now we need this lid portion, and then we need I think it's this piece right here. Yeah, that looks like that's it. And there's some flashing on this thing. There's a lot of flashing on here. Bring this together. You want to use the AP screws here. Looks. Okay, so 2 APs. Not 4, 2. Loosen that up. A little bit of a twist so it's not so tight. Then we need this piece right here. Okay, so it's gonna go on like this. And we need another AP screw. Okay, it feels tight. All right, next page. All right, so now we need to attach Mr. Fusion onto that. So, come on. Okay, so we'll take Mr. Fusion. And we want to line them up onto here. And another AP screw is going to go right in here. Tightening it up on here. Okay, that feels good. All right, so we'll close that up. All right, here comes the fun part. Okay, so we need this part and this part, and it says that we need DP. Okay. So if AP, BP, APCP screws. Okay, well, this looks like this is a bust because I'm missing parts. APCP, three CP screws, and then 6 DP screws. Some of my screws look a little weird. So for some reason, I got like a whole bunch of CP screws in here. Luckily, this isn't really an important issue for a while. So it says I'm supposed to have 3 CP screws, and I'm supposed to have 6 DP screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 CP screws, so maybe those are the DP screws, and maybe I'm missing the CP screws. Holy crud. Either way, I'm missing screws because I have extra APs and BPs, but I don't have. So if those CPs are supposed to be DPs, because this is the little piece of paper that came out of the bag. It says CP on it, but I have 6 of those in there. So let's keep going. Let's see if we can figure out this without completely losing a build day. Oh, shit, where's the instruction? Okay. Spring hinge. Okay, so CP, 3 CP screws. So I should have used 2 of them here. Where's the other CP screw at? DP, DP, AP, DP, DP, APs, DP. So I think I'm okay. I think I can make the hinge. I think I'm just gonna need to get a couple of CP screws. Let's see. Well, let's see here. Okay, so with the instructions here, it says that, okay, so this goes like this, and then this goes like that. Okay, let's get these screws out. Let's see. Okay, I need 2 of those. Just going to pre-screw these in until they want to start coming out. Come on, let go. Okay. So now I'm going to do that the same with this side. These seem to fit. I assume that they were just mislabeled, and now I'm missing some. Okay. Okay, so now this piece right here will go like that. Cool, that snapped right in place. So now what I need to do is I just need to tighten up these. Once I get that side tightened in, and I can tighten in this side. Okay, so I have a feeling that those screws that they labeled as CP screws are actually DP screws. So, okay, so, crud. Okay, so I have to open this and then place this. This is gonna go. So there's a little notch right here. Right there, and that's gonna that's gonna go into right here, tab in. Oh man. It's gonna go in right there. I need an AP screw. An AP screw. Tighten that in as tight as I can get it. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to this part. We're gonna do another smart thing. We're gonna take another 2 of these screws. We're going to pre-screw them in. You know, we should probably have done that before we put this piece on. You know what? Let's go ahead and take this piece off. I'm gonna pre-screw them into here so that it's easier to get all that stuff going. Okay. Leave that like that. So dark with the black screw and then the black piece. Dude, that's... Okay. As far as I need to go in. I'm sorry if some of this is, I'm gonna go in a little bit so it has like a little lip to catch on. Hopefully I can get that spring to catch on that. I don't know why they decided to make this piece a piece that you actually build. This is going to be a pain. Okay, so... Okay, that's already in there. Okay, push that down. Screw this back into here. That goes out pretty far. Okay, all right, AP screws all the way in. Now it's time for the springs. Deep breath. Okay, come on out. All right, I gotta untangle these springs because they are tangled up. Oh man, they are all kind. Ooh, oh, that was so scary. Okay, we'll call it a night. I guarantee if this thing pops out and falls on my floor, I will never find it. I will never ever find it. Oh my God, come on. Okay, I think that popped in there. I think that it did. Okay. Okay. All right, so I got one spring down. Okay, one more spring to go. Okay. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Back a little bit. Okay. shit, I think I did it on the first try. Yes. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna leave this just composing myself just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so now we just need to attach it to this plate here and we'll be all done. Come on. I don't know why they give you so many AP screws in there. Probably just use that AP screw and screw on the that one clear piece. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's just use an AP screw. Probably change the design at some point and didn't change the instructions. Yep, feels like that goes right in. So I still don't know if those are CP or if those are actually DP screws. So that's in now. It feels like that's supposed to go in like that. So like the screws don't feel, they don't feel like they're not supposed to fit in there. So oh man, this thing. So it's supposed to have the pieces on both sides, and I don't know why they didn't do that. The original does, and I don't know why they didn't copy that with this. And that's really hard to turn. It's really, really hard to turn. Okay, well, we'll just leave it like this. So there you go. Issue number 4 complete. So what are we at now? 55. We're almost at an hour on this video, and that shouldn't have been that long. That shouldn't have been that long at all. Just multiple issues with screws, naming screws wrong for the first part, not updating the instructions for the second part, and man, you know, I don't know if something's wrong with this, if I don't know. I'm just going to leave it like that. So hopefully if you learned something out of this, maybe I should have watched it before I did this. Maybe I would have saved myself a lot of trouble, but I'm trying not to watch people's builds because I want to be in it for whenever I build it myself. I don't want any kind of expectation, so I'm trying to build it cold. And I guess this is the issue that you come up with this, is that, you know, I guess there's running changes and they don't announce the running changes. So, all right, well, like I said, if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, then go ahead and do that. That would be greatly appreciated. This is Tambiota. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.